Hey guys, what's up? Wish you are all safe and healthy at home. And let's give a positive way of thinking while you're staying at home. Just why not to focus more on things we wanted to achieve during our yoga practice and we couldn't achieve because of our busy and crazy lifetime. So today I'm going to just give you a special hint about arm balance. And there is a lot of us, since we started practicing yoga, we have this kind of uh, physical orientation. You need to achieve challenging poses. One of them was like arm balance, and it's a dream for some of you to just go for upside down and go for handstand. So today, just to give you a special hint about how to achieve your handstand or arm balance without hurting yourself and without using extra effort will lead you at the end and in an exhausting way. So simply in arm balance we need to engage a lot of group of muscle because our body's muscles working in a group, not in a separate muscles. So to make sure that we are engaging the whole group and which muscle we use, we need to think about which muscle we are going to use during our arm balance. Starting from upward to downward, you need to use your hands for sure because all of your weight will be on upon your hand. So you need to make sure that there is 4 points here in your palm. You need to achieve you make sure that you are pressing in the 4 points of your palm, the four corners. And there is two different schools. Some schools prefer to just bend the fingers and do it like this way, and some schools need to just focus on stretching the fingers and make it spreading it wide like that way. So I'm this with the school of spreading wide because to make you sure that you are stable and there is no kind of it will help more to protect your wrist. You need to warm up your wrist. You need to make sure that you are engaging your flexor and extensor muscle of your forearm, your triceps engagement, your shoulder engaged, your pectoralis muscle, deltoides, and your latissimus dorsi, this muscle when you are responsible for depression of the scapula and adduction of the arm toward the spine. And this is one of the most important muscle will give you kind of stabilization during your arm balance. For sure, you need to make sure that you have a strong core, strong back. The hip flexor need to be kind of flexible enough to just when you go for upside down or for inversion, make sure that it will be in an easy way without any kind of distraction. So if we are going to start thinking about warming up our wrist, there is a simple way in all schools. You used to do it like stretching fingers in front of your shoulders with relaxing shoulders. Just make your fingers straight and you start to move your fingers up and down and make sure that your fingers in a straight way. You make this movement, maybe you synchronize your breath with the movement, so you inhale and exhale, and make sure that you make this one maybe 20 times. And this will let you also to warm up your flexor muscle and your extensor as well. After finishing the 20 times, moving your fingers up and down, you start to stand on your hands and knees. And you put your hand just below your shoulders. Your shoulder will be vertical on your hands, spreading your fingers the same way I showed you. And make sure the four corners of the palm resting on the mat. Another look, you have to look on your knees position, just below your hips, your feet position, as well as just hips width apart. And then gently you start to rotate your shoulders in a circle over your palms towards the left side and feel the 4 points or the four corners of your palm resting on the floor. Maybe do it 5 times toward the left, and then you reverse. And give a special focus for your breath. You need to make your breath at ease. We work on here with Samana breath, your inhale length equal to your exhale length. Then you start to work on, again on your flexor. So you start just give a gentle press with your hands, putting some weight as if you are pressing or doing push-up with your palms against the floor without any tension of your shoulders. Just put some weight. You do it for maybe 10 or 15 times. And then you put the back of your hands facing the floor down, and again spreading your fingers, again with gentle pressure. Just try to push against the floor, lifting your hands completely off the floor and close your fist. And this is a little bit hard because this muscle is neglected. We are not using that much in yoga. Just we need to make sure that all your forearm or all your arm muscle engaged and warmed up. And this is a very good exercise. If you can do it every day, that you make your arm very strong. And will protect your wrist as well from any injury during your yoga practice. Again, this one you can do it from 10 to 15 times. Once you're done, you can just flip your hands and make your fingers pointed backward. You start to move your shoulders back and forward. Just to open up your shoulders, especially we need it during our arm balance to avoid any kind of tightness that make you put your shoulders at ease. Again, 10 times to 15 times. Maybe just again bring your hands back to normal, moving your shoulders forward and backward, 10 to 15 times. And once you're done, we need just to focus on something that's called external rotation of your elbow, and that's called internal rotation. So what we need during our arm balance to put our hand in external rotation position, and this will allow you to engage your triceps while your hand landing on the floor. And this kind of approaching your arm closer to the midline with external rotation, you can feel your lat, that isthmus dorsi, engaged if it's not engaged. So external rotation, especially for also the downward facing dog, which is a very famous position in our yoga practice. So most of us have the tendency to put our elbow in internal rotation, which make you engage just very few muscles and overload these muscles like shoulders, like trapezius, and you end by your practice by headache or injury maybe. So you just do a very simple movement and you can check it out during your practice. And instead of putting your shoulders like this way, relax your shoulders down by depressing your shoulder blades down with external rotation of the elbow. So if you find in the beginning it's a little bit hard on you, you can do it in this way, flipping up your palms up and just press your elbow down and go for down dog. You can do it up and down 5 times to 10 times, and then again you start to go for down dog. And this again, if you need to bend your elbow a little bit, go ahead. It's okay. Just make sure there is a space between your neck and your shoulders, and you can check your lat if engaged or not. This is the position what we want to do during our practice. The second point of view is we have the shoulder movement. Your shoulders, when you move your shoulders up, you are elevating and you can't depress it down, so it's depression. Your shoulder blades also moving with in a kind of protraction and retraction, elevation and depression, protraction, retraction. So what we want to put our shoulders in the depression mood and protraction. So when you go for example, the mountain pose, some of us were doing this way, elevating our shoulders very high, will make you know just again, you overload your shoulders. But if you just do go for depression and protraction, you find your chest muscle engaged, your latissimus dorsi or dorsi engaged. If your hands together, you start to press your palms against each other, you find your triceps engaged. You can do it now and check it out. Even if you have a block, you can hold the block, or book. If you have a book, you can hold the book between your hands. Just start to hold the book firmly and check these muscles out. And this is what we need to make sure this all muscle engaged during our arm downs. Then we'll go for just a kind of warm up, moving forward for our sequence. We can just start simply from child pose. Make sure that your knees, your feet, hips width apart, and you start to sit on your heels. Some of us not able to sit because of knee injury or something. You can just place a towel here, rolling towel, just behind your knee and sit. Or even if you can sit on a block or sit in a pillow. Wherever available at home, you can just manage. Then you start to sit on your heels, stretching your arms in front of you, your hands in front of your shoulders, no tension in the neck, relax your shoulders down, maybe your forehead down, touching the floor, or resting down on a block. And bring attention back to your breath here. Try to reach to your breath to 4, 5, 6 seconds inhale and 6 seconds exhale without forcing your breath, because that's very important to just make your nervous system relaxed. If you are first time doing arm balance, you will find tendency to get excited and nervous. Will stimulate your sympathetic nervous system, which we don't need to. So during your practice, just make sure you give a special focus and attention to your breath through the nose. If you are a mouth breather, please avoid this kind of mouth breathing because it will affect your practice and maybe will lead to increase your level of tension, and that's not good. And then after getting your awareness to your breath, you just start to move by lifting your chest up and move your chest forward, stretching your left arm in front of you, kicking your right leg back, and you make sure that your right shoulder over your right hand with external rotation. No need to move your elbow out like this way, no need to internally rotate your elbow in that way. Just put your elbow in external rotation mood, engaging your triceps, engaging your lat, and the other arm in front of you, without any tension in your neck. Then you exhale all the way down in a synchronized manner, resting your knee on the floor, hand on the floor, sitting on the heels in one movement. Then you repeat it 4 times. That's inhale, and this is exhale. And we start to work gradually but progressively, increasing your breath 1 or 2 seconds each round. Some of us can reach up to 6 or 8 seconds inhale and 8 seconds exhale. After we're done from that, you start to stand on your hands and knees, and again checking your shoulder blades position and your arm position, your elbow position, your hands position, spreading your fingers. Make sure the 4 corners stable on the floor. And you tuck your toes. In a very gentle movement, you exhale, lifting your knees off the floor. Then you inhale, lower your knees down on the floor, standing again on your hands and knees. This will let you make a little bit engagement and warming up for your legs, your abdominal muscle, especially with your exhale. Try to engage your core towards your spine. This will give you kind of gentle warm up for your core. After you're done from this 4 to 6 times, you start again, check your elbow position, your shoulder position. No need to arch your back, you go for downward facing dog. It's very important to check your alignment. Your toes pointed forward, your feet hips width apart. External rotation of the elbow, depression of the scapula, neck in a relaxing mood. Then you start to inhale, move forward to plank pose, lowering your hips down, bring your shoulders over your hands and your heels over your toes. Maybe adjust your feet if it's not stable. Then you exhale all the way, your head down and hips up. And you repeat it again. With your inhale, move forward to plank. Again, no tension in the neck. Then exhale, you come back to downward facing dog. And then from down dog, you move up downward to just warm up your hips, shifting your weight on your left foot and bend your right knee like 90 degrees. And start with your exhale as if you're drawing a big circle with your knee, lifting up your knee without losing your shoulders alignment, and moving backward, downward, forward, upward again, backward, downward, forward. This will work on a lot of things. The first intention here is just to warm up your hip joint. The second intention is your core. The third intention, giving a little bit more strength for your arms. After a while you feel it on your wrist and your triceps. Then you reverse.
And after 5 times extender rotation and 5 times internal rotation, you start your movement from your head, you switch your leg. Again, avoid losing your shoulders in balance or misalignment. Checking your elbow position, your shoulders position. Then you reverse. Then you start to relax. Some of you can continue, some of you not. It's up to your stamina. Just special hand on that one. Just when you do this one, just make sure you have a complete range of motion to feel it. And again, it's not like doing like this way. That's very easy. So we are not doing anything. It's just if you need to get the benefit of this movement, just wide range of motion, right range of motion, circumduction. So here you can just take a rest. You can stay in child pose again, resting your elbow on two blocks or on your blocks, and maybe just you put your hand again in external rotation to just make a kind of shoulder release. And if your breath is not started to not to get into normal, just you slow down, put your breath down back to normal, make your breath, your movement at ease. This is the most important thing. So no need to push yourself that much. Even if you're not able to do it, just take a rest and practice again. Is that when you feel that your breath getting back to normal again, you tuck your toes and exhale, lifting your knees off the floor. And this time you start to inhale, lift your leg up towards the ceiling without moving one shoulder up and one shoulder down. Just you start to exhale, try to bend your knee, bring your elbow closer to your knee, your right knee touching your left elbow, your right elbow. Then inhale up and exhale, your right knee touching your chin. Then bring your attention to your core. Then inhale and exhale, your right knee touching your left elbow. Then inhale up and exhale, foot down. And then you switch. Again, without losing your shoulders alignment. Exhale. Then inhale. Then exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale back to, again, downward facing dog. And then from down dog, you lift your right leg up again, moving your shoulder forward over your hands, and exhale, come back to down dog. Try to keep your legs straight. And you switch 5 or 6 turns. And maybe again you relax, sitting in a child pose with external rotation. Maybe interlace your fingers. Slow down your breath again. And now after we're done from this warm up, you just start crossing your legs, sitting on the floor. After sitting on the floor, you lie down on your back. And now we move downward, give more circulation to the back muscles and abdominal muscles, which we are in a very bad need during our arm downs. So from here we can do 3 in 1, opening the shoulders, give more mobility for the hips and strengthening the core. So our primary intention here just in this coming exercise to give a special focus on the core strength. Secondary intention is a little bit more working on the shoulders mobility and hips mobility. So from here, like eagle, you cross your right arm on the left, maybe hold your shoulders, and if you are more flexible, you hold your hands together. If not, you cross your left arm on the right and just do it like this way. So the second thing you do is you cross, since you are crossing your left arm on the right, you cross your right leg on the left. And this is called cross lateral movement. One of the things will give a kind of connection between the right side of your brain with the left side. So if you are confused, just repeat it. And just your left arm on the right, interlacing your fingers, and your right leg on the left. So if you have a tight hip here, you can do it this way. And if you don't have a tight hips, just to close the space between your thighs. Or maybe if you are more flexible, like eagle, you wrap your ankle over the left side, over the left one. And then you start again, bring your attention, make sure you breath at ease, and you lift your foot off the floor. And from here, you start to exhale gently, engaging your core. Try to lift your chest, your hips as well, off the floor and your elbow touching your knee. With your inhale, you go slowly down. And repeat it 5 times. With your exhale up and inhale down. Make it slow. 4 seconds or 5 seconds. Exhale and 5 seconds. Inhale. And then maybe you start to hold for a while without holding your breath. So you stay in the pose, lifting your elbow up without holding your breath. If you feel any kind of numbness, at any time just release your arms and just cross your arm in a simple way, and no tension in your neck. It's all about your core. Then with your inhale, you slowly go down, resting your foot down, you release your legs, and you release your arms, and just pause here for a while. And then you switch. Since you're crossing your left arm on the right, now you cross your right arm on the left, and left leg on the right, and you start again with your exhale and inhale. Exhale, inhale. No need to rush, make it slow. The slower you do, the more stable you will be in your arm balance. And you get the benefit of the exercise. And then you start to hold without holding your breath. You stay. Staying here for 5 breaths. And you release. you find your core a little bit engaged. Here you just need to release, kind of go for a gentle release of your abs by lifting your hips up, pressing your heels down. Some of you, if you're more up, have kind of shoulder opening or flexible shoulders to be more specific. Holding your ankles, make your neck flat on the floor, retraction of your shoulder blades, and now you are elevating your shoulder blades to protect your spine, C7, from any injury, especially if you have a little bit gentle kyphosis. After releasing your abs, engage your core again and dropping your upper spine down on the floor gently. The center of the spine, the lower spine, which is with your hips, sacrum region, at the end of your exhale. And once we're done, you lift your arms overhead and turn your whole body towards the right side and slowly placing your left hand down on the floor and come to stand on your hands and knees. Once you're done from standing your hands and knees, you just lie on your back. Now bring your attention to the back strength. Now work on back strength and shoulders strength. Here you cross your arms behind you and make sure your forehead down on the floor. Your feet hips width apart. Your neck flat. So you initiate your movement with your extensors, your extensor muscle, your back muscles, the whole group. And you lift your shoulders up. No need to lift to start your movement, lifting your chin up. It's not about your neck. It's not about straining your neck. It's about strengthening your back muscle. This kind of movement is not advised at all. You can end the yoga practice after a while by injuring your cervical vertebrae after 10 years of yoga practice, which you don't need it. Just make sure, make an easy way. Again, you bring your attention to the tip of your nose, slowing down your breath. You start to move with your inhale. You lift your chest up and raise your right arm over your head and lift the leg off the floor. With your exhale, you sweep your arm behind you and bend your elbow, turning your face towards the left side, all in one movement. And then you switch. You inhale, lift the arm and right leg, then exhale, turn your face right side and gently lowering your chest down with your thigh down, forehead, turning your face right side. And the third one will be both. And this is exactly like the handstand position. Then you exhale slowly down, forehead down again to the floor. One of the most important thing here is just to make sure that when you lift your thigh off the floor, keep your hip down on the floor. No need to lift your hip off the floor. You will engage different muscles. So you repeat this one 4 times. Each one, right, left, and 4, and both. And the last one, if you can stay for 5 breaths, you stay, and doing your best to lift your chest as high as you can, your legs as high as you can up. Again, without any strain in your neck. And you exhale, sweeping your arms behind you, forehead down on the floor. Once you're done, you need again to stretch your back muscle. Just stand on your hands and knees. You start to bend your elbow first, and you're looking forward, engaging your core and keep your lower back flat. And all the way down, you exhale. You touch your heels at the end of your exhale. Then you inhale all the way up. And that's called Chakravakasana. I had learned this one from the Veni Yoga school, which is my school. Once you're done, you feel that your shoulders have been, your back has been released. You start to work again, tucking your toes. And exhale, lifting your knees off the floor. And from here, you start to step by step, you step your feet forward. So if you find yourself has a tendency to lift your hands off the floor, don't lift it. Maybe you need to go for to bend your knees if you have a tight hamstring. But keep your hand on the floor. Then you keep to get your feet between your hands and keep your feet hips width above. Then you shift your weight on your heels, bending your knees a little bit. No need to arch your back, just keep it flat. You move your chest forward, lifting your arms overhead, and slowly, all the way up, you inhale. Then you exhale. Moving down towards your legs, start to work to make a kind of strengthening your legs. We'll go for a dynamic chair pose. You inhale, lifting your arms over your head, and you exhale all the way down as much as you can, reaching down, closing the space between the back of your knees, hugging your knees. Then you inhale, halfway up, shifting your weight on your heels, keep your knees behind your toes, and exhale here. Then you inhale up slowly, and exhale, arms down. So make sure when you inhale with the external rotation, shoulder down and forward, and exhale, bend forward and all the way down, hug your legs. And inhale halfway up, and exhale here, and continue up. And exhale. We'll do it again 2 more times. Last one. Maybe if you want to work more on the strength of your legs, you just make sure your shoulders at ease, retraction, depression. You stay here for 5 breaths. And exhale. And you start again, inhale up, you exhale. So you step back again to down dog. From down dog, shift your weight on your left leg and raising your right leg up, and exhale. Step your right foot between your hands. The coming one will work on your hip flexor. We call it Kabada Ustrasana. One-legged camel pose, you can do it this way. Make sure your right foot in front of your knee. Maybe you make your left hip over your left knee. Resting your hands on your knees, one arm down, you start to inhale. Sink your hips down, moving your chest forward, lifting your arm overhead without elevation, just put it down. Try to get a little bit more aware about your shoulder blade, and exhale. So maybe just stay for 5 breaths, maybe you lift your both arms up. If you need maybe to go deeper on the iliopsoas muscle, so maybe you rest your foot on a block or on a book, or you tuck your left toes and lift your knee completely off the floor and sinking your hips down more. Let it give you a kind of deep stretch for the hip flexor. After you're done from that, you start to go for a gentle stretch for your hamstring, right one. Bend halfway down. If you feel more stable, you lift your chest up and stay here. And those who are more flexible would like to go for a split without twisting right or left. Just keep your hips aligned to protect your hip from any injury and your SI joint from any injury. Maybe you sit on a block, on a pillow. Just step by step, lowering down, your hips down on the floor. So maybe stay here, maybe stay on the block, or maybe bend forward. Feel free. You hold here for 5 breaths or more. And then you step by step bend your knee, stepping your foot back, tuck your toes, and then you switch. Start to move. You hold for 5 breaths. Maybe do go for this option, whatever comfortable for you. And after you're done, you rest your knee down, gentle stretch, or more balance, or any option, step by step. Maybe you rest your foot on a towel, press your foot outside the mat, and make sure your hips aligned in a symmetric way, lowering down your hips, lift your arms overhead, or any option. You stay for 5 or more breaths, and then you switch. Then you step your foot back, and again, back to the same way we started, the external rotation and shoulders down, spreading the fingers. Lift your knees off the floor and try to go to more level of the strength, lifting your leg up, and exhale. Try to rest your knee on your elbow and hold for 5 breaths. Those who are very advanced, bend your elbow on the same level and try to lift your foot off the floor, maybe your head down on the floor if you feel not stable, and hold for 5 breaths. Then you go up, and then you switch, resting your right knee on your left elbow. Bend your elbow a little bit. Maybe you stay here or go for twisted crow pose. Maybe you jump back and go for up dog and down dog, and then you switch. Same way with the left side. Hold for 5 breaths or more. Then you switch. jump. So when you jump, make sure that your elbow on a 90 degree. No need to lower your shoulders down. This will hurt your shoulders. Make your shoulder in the level of your elbow or just above. So like this way, not here. Here, here, here is okay. And once you're done from that, you start to come back again to downward facing dog. And you lift your right leg up and you step your right foot between your hands. Check your alignment. Lift your left leg up. Make sure your shoulder is down and the initiation of the movement. And if you are upside down, your shoulders will be elevated. So from here start to work on your arm strength again. You exhale, lift your heel off the floor. You inhale down, then exhale up. Inhale down, exhale, inhale. And when you're upside down, make sure you be aware about your hands and your vision. And you lower it down slowly and come back to down dog if you need to rest. You go ahead or you continue. It's up to you. Just make sure your breath, your movement at ease. Start to inhale and exhale. And start to hold or trying to lift your foot up. Try not to jump. Just make it easy. And now after you're done from the handstand split, you start to work on crow pose. You jump outside your hands.
So there is a several ways to go for crow pose. This is one of the poses will help you to achieve your handstand stabilization in a very fast way. And in the beginning you don't need just to force yourself. With the same foundation we started, just all your body now warming up. All what you need just to make sure to check your alignment, your hands in front of your shoulders away from the neck. You line up your shoulder, your elbow, your hands, spreading your fingers, externally rotate your elbow, looking forward, resting your knees on your elbow, depressing your shoulders down. All this you need to check it out. And then you start to inhale, lifting your heels off the floor, leaning forward, and then you exhale. And you start to work on that with your breath. You move. And then you start to hold. After holding, you start to rest, put more weight on your elbow, bending your elbow. And you wait, no rush. Again, you look forward, no need to drop your head down, flex your neck. Just stay stable here for a while. Maybe once you find your elbow is just perpendicular on your hands, over your hands, start to lift one toes off the floor, one foot, and stay, hold for 5 breaths, then maybe you switch, and then you go down, and you rest for a while, just release your rest, and you repeat it again. Once you find yourself stable and confident, repetition will help you to educate your neuromuscular system to achieve your arm balance without fear. And then you start to maybe work on, one day you find yourself
lifting your toes off the floor and holding for a while. After you're mastering the crow pose, you find yourself, you keep your arms straight and you rest your knee in your armpit. You start to do it with straight arms. And you jump. And you go again for down dog. After you're done, we need to unwind and cool down. Again, back to child pose for a while. Slowing down your breath. After slowing down, you sit up, stretching your legs in front of you. And we did a lot of work on your wrist, your back muscles, upper back, your shoulders. We need to stretch them out. You can just go for a gentle, it's called Marichasana. A. You bend your right knee up. You keep your feet hips width apart. Your knee will be over your heel. No need to move it out or in. Your toes pointed forward, not out, not inward. Stay stable, your left foot in front. So option one, just left hand down, right arm up. And try to hold your shin, or with a towel, hold your foot, or hold your big toe. Just stay here. And relax your shoulders. If you feel very stable, very flexible, or more flexible here, just start to internally rotate your elbow, bend your elbow behind you. Some of you can interlace the fingers behind you. So some of you can hold the wrist, right hand holding the left wrist. If you are more and more flexible, your shoulders aligned, and you exhale, lowering your forehead down, your nose touching your knee, without straining your neck, flexing your ankles. Stay here for maybe 8 breaths, and then you do the same for the right side. And after you're done, you stretch, you go for Paschimottanasana, stretching your feet in front of you. You can bend your knees, it's okay. Keep your torso straight and long, lifting your arms overhead, and exhale all the way down. And inhale all the way up. You exhale in 5 or 6 seconds all the way down and forward. Try to keep your spine long, no need to slump, and do it 4 times, and after 4 times just you hold the big toes and stay here. Maybe start work with gentle movement with your toes, moving your toes forward and backward, working on your wrist and your shoulders. Maybe hold here, just toes pointed forward, maybe go deeper. Again, hold for 8 breaths. This will work, just this symmetric manner will work to release any kind of tension in the lower back, your shoulders, your wrist. And that's it. So that was just a few hints about arm balance foundation. And just remember one thing, sometimes your expectation is very high and you need to achieve the thing in a very fast way. Remember, there is no time, just let it go. Whatever comes, it will come. Just make it slow and consistent, and everything will come at the end. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Follow me on my Instagram, Kamal Saad, my Facebook, Kamal Saad. Any question, just shoot me a text message or I'll get you back soon. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.